Welcome back to Loose Wings RC. So as you can tell, we got something really cool here. You're looking at the reissue of the Jammin 1985 race-winning RC10. Thing's killer. So happy Team Associated was able to do this one and bring this out. Such an iconic car, and yeah, I think, and also just beautiful. It's a very pretty thing. But the little story on this one here, I'll tell you what it says. This was the first two-wheel drive off-road world's winner. Only 8 months after its initial release, around July 11th of 1985, legendary RC10 driven by Jay Halsey claimed victory as the first IFMAR two-wheel drive stock world champion. So pretty cool stuff. There's the guy himself. Really neat. I'm going to show you all the box art and stuff like that in the video too. You'll see all the good stuff. When you open it, it actually has a trophy display. So you can make it as a little, kind of like a sitting spot for your car. Now, when you get these, they do give you the decal livery as like decals to put on. I opted to go with the paint. I did a part 1 of this video where I show you the unboxing of everything and I show you the decals. And I said I was going to put the decals on it, but then I got thinking, I'm going to be driving this thing. If I flip it, I'm going to scratch the decals and there ain't no fixing that. So I'd rather just paint it instead. And I opted to paint. So a little more tricky to paint the car because you got to tape everything off, and there's so many like times you have to cover one color and then paint it, cover that one with some tape, paint another one, but not too hard of a paint design, but it's just time consuming, so it will swallow your day up for sure. This took about 3 days to paint. It did, because I had to wait for colors to cure. Just it was a lot, but it looked really good. And then when I went in to buy the paints for the buggy, I went in my local hobby shop, Extreme RC, and then when I went in there, my friend Greg, he said, "How can I help you?" I was like, "I need to paint RC10 Jay Halsey." He's like, "Yeah, I got you covered, man." He gave me like 5 cans. He said, "That's pretty much it." I was like, "Oh, I don't think so." So he said, "All right, you go do what you do. Go what you want to do." And then I went and got a metallic blue, and then I got another blue. So I sprayed the underneath metallic first, let that cure, and then I added just a dark, like I think it's just called blue, underneath that to give it like more of an intense blue look, not so candy. And then I had to, of course, you have to have the red, the orange, yellow, and then I added some chrome. I got chrome paint, and then some shimmer, clear shimmer for the wings, so it sparkles, some sparkle clear. And then we added smoke to the windows, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. You wouldn't really think of it, but there's a lot of paints. But by the time I got done with it, I had 11 cans of paint when I left the hobby store. So my local hobby store made a lot of money that day. They did. Just for a paint job. Anyways, but it's all good. It turned out great. I couldn't be any happier. It's the way to go for me. Let me show you inside too. Here's how we got it. Look good. Now this buggy doesn't come with ball bearings. You have to supply your own. But I was able to save some money, and I went with I think it's JB bearings off of eBay. They got a little monkey for their logo. Super cool. But yeah, they work really good. Because when you get the kit, they only come with brass bushings. I didn't want to do that for this one. I didn't add any fancy bearings to my for this one when I built the RC10 40th, because I don't run that. That just sits on this shelf. But I will run this one from time to time because it's a race car. This is the race one. but I'm not going to drive it crazy. It's going to get an under. I'm also going to get a big protectant for the bottom. I got a friend of mine who's making that for me in plastic. So, anyways, I was able to look through some of my tools and car stuff, RC car stuff, and I found a Novak receiver. Now, I'm not running it. It does work. But if I was to use it, I would have to use a different controller because it uses a crystal. And then I would actually have to make a hole in this body. I'm not doing that. So, but it does work. It's just in here for kind of vintage vibe. But I am running a little small radio here that I got years ago. Works good. It does the job. And the receiver is like itty bitty. 1060 ESC for power. I did have another one that I was using in here, but it was only rated for a 20-turn motor. And speaking of motors, the motor that's in here is a 17 turn, so a little hotter. I got off of Amazon, I believe, and then motor was like $15, $16, not expensive at all. And I took the decal off and applied one of their decals that come in the box to make it look vintage. So really neat. The servo in here is a Futaba 3004, and it works great. So I don't need no fancy servo or nothing. And that was like $14 a long time ago that I paid. There is some things you're going to need to look out for with this one, and that is how to apply the rims and with the tires for the fronts, because it can be really hard to get that together. And the trick is to use long bolts and to start it off with, and some grease around the rim of the hub. And then as you're tightening the bolt up, it starts to sandwich together and works wonderful. You don't need to worry about this tire slipping on the rim or nothing like that, because it's super tight if you was to use grease, which I recommend, because it has no power of being applied to it, and it's not going to come off the rim. It's on there, clamped. So that's pretty much it on that. You can glue these if you want to, but these don't need to be glued. So that's pretty much it. If you can, please give give me a subscribe. I would appreciate it. Would mean everything, and would help my video reach other individuals. That is pretty much it, my friends, on this one. We're going to go straight into the build up, and then we're going to go into the run. That's going to start right now. All right, let's get started building this bad boy.
Alrighty, so now we're getting ready to remove a little bit of material off the steering arms. That way, under compression, we have a bit more steering radius.
Alright guys, I'm going to show you how you get the tires on the Jay Halsey, on the rim actually. It's a pretty cool little trick. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get the insert inside the middle portion. And I'm going to get a little grease, start put the grease around here. Get it nice and lubey right there. And then we're going to get the front on this side right here. You'll see the smaller nose will face the lettering. All right, so it doesn't have to go inside yet. We're just trying to get it kind of lined up. There we go. And then we're going to just kind of slowly tighten it up just a little bit to the back side. It's hard to see it. There we go. All right, and we're going to do that in a triangle pattern. These bolts that I'm using are 1 inch long. And I make sure I put a whole lot of grease on this thing. Just like that. And the plates will start slowly compressing once you screw it. And as you screw it, you'll add the correct bolts in. You'll have to take these long ones out, and then you can put the little ones in. Just give yourself some time. It'll start coming together. Then you'll just compress it. Feels like it's already starting to marry. There we go. And it's essentially done, actually, at this stage. You'll add the little ones in. First, you got to put your bolts back in. It fell out. Right there. Add the little ones. Then you take the big ones out. Once you add the little ones at a time, and then add the correct size. That's pretty much it, see? It's all the way in. And then once you do that, just add your bearings. That's pretty much it. Choose a decal. Probably gonna go with this one right here to put on the motor because we took the decal off that. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. All right, now for a top speed, we're at 0. Let's see what she does. All right, we got 29.2 miles per hour. We'll take it. All right, now for the running review. It likes to go. Got a little bit of a bounce on the front wheels. I gotta figure that out. All right, let's see some articulation. All right, awesome. Nice. Nice. Bring her on it. All right, it's gonna be a wrap on this bad boy. I truly appreciate you guys coming along with me on the ride for this one. She turned out awesome. It looks killer. So if you can, please hit the like, comment, and I'd love for you to subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.